Hi guys, it's Melissa with Melissa Peterson Designs. I hope you've made it a good week. We have a gifty challenge to do today for the month of May, and I also have been playing with some resin. I am working on my fireplace mantle, and I needed a couple molds for a few of the areas on my fireplace mantle, and I bought this kit off of Amazon, and I've been wanting to play with it, and I finally got to playing with it this week, and I've been having a lot of fun with it. And I wanted to show you how easy it is. I think I found my new favorite way of making molds, and I've been making them from paper clay. I think each one has their pros and cons, and when you make them with paper clay, you get almost like an immediate result, but then you still have to let them dry. And one of the cons with paper clay is it does kind of shrink. It can crack, but if you're wanting to go for that look, that's okay. I found out with these, when I made them with the casting resin, I'm getting really good details on these. So I am working on a project. I don't know quite what I'm going to do with it yet. I've painted it in Dixie Belle's blueberry, and I think I want to add some molds to it, so I was just going to go ahead and show you how I did that. And this stuff sets up pretty quick. It comes with 2 bottles. Now I've done the epoxy on a piece of furniture for my mom, and it took like almost 24 hours for it to cure. And it wasn't completely cured, but that's when it lost its tackiness within 12 to 24 hours, and it took a lot of preparation. So I'm going to use bottle A, and you have to do 1-to-1 ratio. It comes with a couple cups, and you're not supposed to use styrofoam. I do have a mixing cup that I'm just reusing over and over again, so I'll have to get some new cups. Just don't use styrofoam, they say. So I'm mixing 30 milliliters in my cup on part A. I'll get back to my story here in a minute. I just gotta concentrate. Pour it in, and I forgot a wet rag. Should be wearing gloves. Okay, and then part B. I believe that's the hardener. And you do the very same amount. I did put a link on the video here on where to get this. It is an affiliate link. So if you do make a purchase, I might get a small commission. It won't cost you anything more. So just to give you a heads up, I bought this off of Amazon. They do come with their own little sticks, but I'm going to use my own tongue depressor. So it's 1-to-1 ratio, and then you stir it for about 30 seconds. And have a couple of extra molds available just in case you have extras, because you want to go ahead and use up what you've got mixed here. So I'm just kind of mixing it. Okay, I'm going to go for this one. I found out when I was doing this this week that if you have any delicate ones, to do them first and then do the larger ones after that. It seemed to work better for me. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and do the tulips. So if you have any extra left over, find a mold and go ahead and pour it in, even if you don't have enough. And when you do your second pour, you can go back and keep adding to it. And I just over poured. That's okay. Let me see. Let's do this one. So yeah, I got quite a few molds. I want to play with some wood bends. I do have a few wood bend molds, but I haven't played with them yet, where you can actually heat them up and conform them to your surface. Like if you want to round them around a corner, you can. I think with these, if you can do them early enough, you can also kind of bend these a little bit too. That's why I want to practice on this circle thing that I have started here. And I have some more resin. So within 2 to 3, 4 minutes, this will start to the point where you can't do any more pouring. So you want to have everything set up and ready. You don't have to have your molds prepped like you do with paper clay. You just go ahead and pour. And I think I'm getting all of it out. Yeah. So I'm just pouring a little extra in another mold. So I've got 1, 2, 3, I've got 5 molds poured right now. It just kind of depends on what you're pouring. There we go. And we'll let that set up. So I've got a couple of these poured, and I think about putting these, I have a couple books, I'm thinking about adding these two on the binders, and then I can paint the books and have decorative binders, and it'll just be like when you set them up, I'll like do a stack of 3 on the book binders. This is a woodgie blend mold I was talking about. I want to practice with. I had a second one of these, but I think Daniela used it for a crafting project. So I think I want to find another one, and probably that way I have a pair and figure out how to do it. But if you heat this up, you should be able to actually bend this. So I've got to play with that. And here's some more that I poured with the casting resin. So I think that's kind of neat how that turned out. And let me see. Oh, yeah, I had to do a couple more of these for my ropes for around my fireplace mantle. And as soon as you pour them and are able to pull them out, because if you can see where it's starting to turn white, that's where it's already starting to cure. So within 5 minutes, I should be able to pull those out and start working with them. So pretty much when you are able to pull them out, you can still use scissors and cut off what you don't need. So that was neat. So my fireplace mantle is getting a little farther done. So it's really neat. So let's go ahead and do the Make Gifty Challenge winner. It's for 8 ounces of Dixie Belle paint. And Terry Ham is the winner. So congratulations. I hope you have Messenger. If you do, I'll need you to message me. I want you to go ahead and give me your top 2 favorite Dixie Belle colors. And I'll need your address so I can go ahead and get them ordered and sent to you, because if they're on hand with my 2 retailers, you'll get them a lot quicker than if I have to order through Dixie Belle. So Terry, message me, or I'll message you later today, and figure out which 2 colors you'd like to pick from on Dixie Belle, 8 ounces. So still working on this. See, and if you pick up your molds and fill it, you can fill, hi Kelly, yes, congrats Terry. So we'll get her crafting. So if you pick these up when that you got the casting resin in there, you can feel the heat underneath. So it's probably a very good idea to wear gloves, and here I'm not doing it. So these are getting whiter, and you can see this one will need more. So next time I do a pour, I'll add more in there. This one isn't quite full, so I'll have to add a little bit more in there. This is perfectly full. So this one I over poured, but once it gets done, when I can pull it out, I can trim it off with some scissors. I think this is the one I want to use on my tray here, because if I can get it to mold, I'll go ahead and kind of mold it around the curve, and I'll just keep making some more. So that's probably the only downside, is you have to wait about 5 minutes to pull it out before you can make another one. But that's just the way it is. But they don't shrink. And when it comes time, I'll just use wood glue to apply it and hold it down. And actually, when I did my little, I think it's winter blooms on my fireplace mantle, I used this wood glue on there, and once I pushed it on there, I had tape ready to hold it on there, but I really didn't need it. So it adhered really well. So yeah, that's still sticky. So we're just going to have to wait just a little bit. So let me show some paper clay. We'll see if this is still good. It's been about maybe 6 to 8 weeks since I pulled this out. We'll see if it's still good. So I usually double bag these. And it might be still too dry. Yeah, that's still too dry. So I have 1 container of paper clay left. We'll go ahead and open that up and I'll show you. I don't have, let's see here. Oh, that one's got some powder on it. I probably should have washed them. But it's best when you do paper clay to kind of powder your molds to make it easier to pull them out. So grab your paper clay, go ahead and roll it. So have you used any paper clay before or used any molds? Let me know. What's your favorite way of doing these? Do you like doing paper clay or do you like using the hot glue? I've done the hot glue. I think my glue guns are too small. But those also don't tend to shrink when you use hot glue in your molds. So I just push it down, pull off the excess, and just keep doing it. It's best to do your molds and have enough paper clay for the whole thing and not add paper clay to it, because that kind of breaks the integrity of it when it gets pulled out and dried. So I got a lot of excess here. And my tools for paper clay are actually upstairs, but I'm just going to use my fingers because sometimes that's just more fun. Now the back side of this one's going to be kind of rough because I did it in a hurry. But the thing about paper clay is if you don't like how you did it when it pulls out, you can always roll it back up in a ball and do it again. And you just kind of break the seal. So, and then there's a mold from a paper clay. And if it didn't have that border, I could probably do some warping with that and do some, you can glue it and you can also do it around corners if you want. But that's from a paper clay mold. I'll just go ahead and set that over there. Let's see if these are ready. Nope, that's not ready yet. So I pulled it aside to see if it would come apart yet, and it's not ready yet, so it's a little bit too sticky. So we're just going to have to wait just a few minutes longer. So it takes about 5 minutes for it to be cured enough to pull out. So we'll just wait on that. But yeah, I've got this this round that I'm working on. I'm thinking about adding some molds around the edge. I want to do like a transfer in the middle, and then I think I'm going to do some glazing. I just got some smeared, so I might have to sand that and paint it again, but that's what I'm working on this one for something to take up maybe to the furniture boutique. But I was thinking about having some flowers, gluing them on, but then I saw these molds here and I'm thinking about doing a border. So we will see how that turns out. So we're just playing with molds. I probably should have my glue gun ready to show you how to do one with glue guns. So let me see here. Not quite ready yet. And if you keep it, measured right, 1 to 1%. Hi Patty, how you doing? Hi Steph. I'm pretty sure I measured okay. Now I'm kind of scared I didn't, but it hardened up pretty good. There we go. Yeah, I was scared maybe I measured it wrong because it's a 1 to 1 consistency. There we go. So I'm just breaking the seal. And I know I've got some overpour on here, so I'll have to do some trimming. And I think this is the one I wanted anyway. Okay, let me see here. There we go. And if you go ahead, if you have overpour like I do there, you can go ahead and trim it off now before it gets too hard. There we go. And this is pliable enough I can actually, yeah, I think I want to do that. I think I am going to do a border around that. So I'm going to go ahead and trim it now, because if I wait a couple of hours, this will be too hard to trim, because it will be that hard. And right now this is so flexible. So that's casting resin that I got from Amazon, and this is what they've been using on some of the furniture pieces for molds. And there's no shrinkage. And I have quite a bit of overpour on here, so when I had a little bit of overpour on this one, it was so thin you could see I could just peel it off. But this one I kind of got a little bit too heavy. And I wanted to show you how to glue that on too. So you got a good 15 minutes to work with this to do some molding. And if you want this nice and sturdy and firm, it'll be really, really firm within a couple of hours. So I really love this material. Okay. Yeah, that's too thick. So that's what you get for overpouring. But the details really show up on these. Let me get that a little bit better before I glue that on. There we go. So I'm just going to use wood glue on the back side. Do a nice little line. And just kind of spread it out. And then just kind of push it down. And then I can kind of clean up with some like a wet rag. And I think I'm gonna go all the way around and make like a border, or I'll figure something out, but that's how you put the molds on. And you got a little time to move it around if you don't quite like the placement of it. And then I can just go back and clean up the glue that kind of mushed through. So, and then I'm thinking about painting over it, probably the same color blue, and then I'm gonna do some detail work and also do some highlights. So that is working with casting molds. And I got a new mold from Ann at the Furniture Boutique, and it's called Bell Orchards. So I can't wait to play with that one. I'm not quite sure where to put that one yet, but that's going to wait a little bit. So I'm going to keep making some more of these and working my way around. If you got any questions, let me know. Got glue on my fingers. And Terry, congratulations on May and June. I'm going to start a new challenge, so if you like, go ahead and get started. If you like and share this video and like my page and like this video, I'll go ahead and enter you for the June challenge, and I'll announce that one on Monday. So you guys have a great Friday, have a great weekend, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.